Once again, globalscareradio.com, the Aaron Show, Friday night, 9:30, 11:30, where your Friday nights will never be the same. We back once again. Topic for tonight, when you find out your lover is gay. Wow. So we're going to get started with this. We're going to introduce some of the people in the room. We got some more people going to be joining us for this interesting topic. First of all, we're going to introduce Miss D. You can say hello.
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 Miss D. And last but not least.
Oh, yeah, y'all know what it is. It's Jay Grizzly Green in the house here at Global Scale Radio. Thank you, Mr. A.
Okay. And we got homegirl, Lissa P, on her way right now. She probably coming down 95 or Broad Street, whatever, you know. So Lissa P, don't go too fast. Get a ticket out here. Get a boys and blue all out here. So
she heard the topic. Was like, I got to get down there.
Yeah, I know she.
Got to get down there.
Yeah. So we'll get right into it. You know, topic when you find out your lover is gay. Also, we're gonna have. We can't be laughing. We gotta be serious.
We'll try. Reza, go try.
Tonight we're gonna always, ladies. Definitely listen up because I'm gonna give you the top 10 signs of top 10 signs of your man being gay, and this is pretty interesting. This is from OkCupid.com, so that's the source, OkCupid.com. So we'll get right into it. Miss D, Miss D's situation is just like the topic said. Her lover was about. Ex-lover.
You on the mic? You can hear you.
Yeah.
You gotta give me the cue if you want me to mute you.
Yeah, say about I think you say 8 years ago. Say that he was gay.
Yes.
Okay, so what we're gonna do? We're gonna start from the beginning.
Okay.
How you guys meet, and we're gonna kind of just go from there.
Okay.
So you're on, Miss D.
All right. Back in '91, we met at a party. And we exchanged numbers, started dating. Got pretty strong. We ended up having our first child in '93.
Okay.
And still strong. Had another child in '96, another child in '99.
Okay.
And around about 2002, this is when things started changing.
Okay, did the radar come on? Like
C3PO.
Well, yeah, he started hanging out a little more. The woman intuition came out.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Let's go back to 90. You said 93 was your first child?
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's go back between 91 and 93. Looking back on it now, did you see anything?
No.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Okay.
Not a clue.
Not a clue.
Okay.
It was just he did a lot of he was a real gentleman.
Okay.
I mean, real man.
Right.
For real. But like I said, like 2002, saw the changes. Started hanging out more, which he would never done.
Mm-hmm.
Then I found poems, but the poems were signed from a person that it could have been a female.
Right. He was a literary guy. What I'm saying is, it was when you met him.
The poems weren't from him. The poems were to him.
Okay, I got you.
The poems were to him, but they were signed from somebody that could have been a female.
Right.
Their name could have been a female. But, of course, I went through the phone, and I matched the name with the letter. And then that's when I found out about the guy. And me and the guy had conversation. We had conversation. I went to his house.
What kind of conversation? Like normal, like
Yeah. I want to go back to let's slow down.
Yeah, we gotta slow. You gonna milk this one?
Yeah. This topic here, we gotta be easy. We gotta be easy. Slow it down. Easy. Let's go back to the conversation. Okay, you find a poem. You said the name could have been a guy, girl. Guy, girl name.
Correct.
So, what you say? You went through the phone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go through this phone, see what this dude doing. Blah 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 blah. So, you know, you see the number, say, you know, I'm gonna call this, you know, I'm gonna call this wench right here, you know, that's what you
Exactly.
do. You know, she ain't be messing with my man like that, you know.
Exactly.
You know, and so ring, and they were like, hello. Was like that?
It wasn't that deep. But yeah, and he told me, he said, "Oh, you the wifey. I already know all about you."
Oh. Okay, all right. I'm gonna go through the little play again. Okay.
He gotta rewind that.
Yeah, I gotta rewind.
He gotta rewind that one, y'all.
Okay.
Tell him again, Mr. What happened?
You know, you went through the phone, and then I like, hello.
It was a little lighter than that.
Okay.
It was
Hello.
something like that.
Hello.
Yeah.
Oh, what up?
I don't know what up. It was like, may I speak to
You know, man, speak to
the person?
The person.
And they said, this is him.
Okay.
I said, him.
Okay, so right there, I'm gonna stop you because, like I said, we gonna be tender with this one. What came to your mind?
I was stunned for about 30 seconds.
Okay.
But he was just talking, and he said, "I know who this is already." He said, "I know all about you."
Okay. I'm a backtrack again. I'm gonna rewind again. I'm gonna rewind a little bit further. The letters.
Okay.
What's some of the stuff that was in the letters?
It was more like poems. They were like the way when you touch me when we together. The things we've done. Okay. You make me feel this certain way.
Okay. So when you see any letters, you know, I mean, just no shadow of a doubt, you know, you thinking this is a woman.
It's a woman, right.
You know,
right.
You know, writing these letters to your child's father.
Right.
Okay. You know.
Exactly.
Wow. And you know, on Radio Lounge, you will hear a lot of wows from me tonight. So, you know, it will be a lot of wows.
Grizzy is so quiet right now. I want to hear it. I so want to hear it, and I got a lot.
It's a lot more to the story.
I'm sure it's a lot more.
Yeah, we got 2 hours with this, so you know, we got plenty.
We might go over.
Yeah,
could be.
It could go over.
Could be. Okay. You know, we reading the letters, everything. We'll fast forward a little bit.
Okay.
And then go back to the conversation. As far as the, you know, he say, "Oh, you the wifey," and this and that. So
yeah,
we go from there.
I asked him, I said, "You a guy?" He said, "Yes," and I was like, "Okay," and I said, "What exactly is going on?" And he actually invited me to his house. He said, "I don't think we should talk about this over the phone."
Okay.
So by this time, oh yeah, I'm ready.
You ready to hear whatever?
I'm ready to go over to his house.
Right.
So still at this time, you know, you got still at this time you seeing, okay, you know, this is a guy.
Right.
You know, you got that, and, you know, no more denial.
Right. So my interest is really intrigued right now. I really want to know what's going on.
Okay. All right. Okay. The guy invited you to the house.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll go from there.
Went to the house, and I went by myself. But I guess he was a little scared. Cause I'm serious, he had about 3-4 other guys there that were gay. Okay. That were there, and they just always looking at me, and I'm looking at them. And when he opened the door and he saw me, he hugged me. He said, "Oh, it's so nice to meet you. I've been wanting to meet you for a long time."
Okay, stop right there. Stop right there. Backtracking again. So why didn't you confront the kid's father first?
I'm gonna get to that.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I'm gonna get to that.
Okay, this is your show.
All right. me and him talked. We talked about it, and I guess it was a numb feeling I had the whole time because I really ain't feel nothing.
Right.
It was just numb. I'm sitting there listening to this man. He didn't go exactly into details at this moment of what they had done, but he did tell me how they met. He did tell me where they had been, and he did tell me he had feelings. And so what I did, I just simply asked him not to tell my kid's father that we've met at all, and he didn't do it. I invited him to our house.
You snuck him.
Huh?
You snuck him.
No, I ain't touching him.
No, when I say snuck, that's punch him.
Oh.
But you kept, but you kept the fact that you now knew from your kid's father that you knew who the other lover was, and so you sprung. When I say snuck him, you sprung him up at the house to
I
confront.
invited him to our home for a cookout.
You got the right thing to do. Go ahead.
And he came over with his lover, because he had a lover anyway. So they both came over. Okay. I invited some people over to the crib. And when I introduced him, when he knocked at the door, I said, "This is my friend such and such. These are my friends such and such."
Okay, and then, I'm the kid's father. I'm like, what the world?
He just looked stupid.
Okay. So, what's the time frame from, okay, you went to the house as opposed to him?
Probably about 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It wasn't a long period of time. But in this whole period of time, me and the guy was talking.
Okay, so how was you handling for dealing with your kid's father at that time?
Just being distant.
Okay.
Distant, trying to stay busy and not really go off without him knowing, because this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to introduce it this way to him, since this is how I'm finding out, so I just but after the guy came, it wasn't no confrontations or anything like that, and we all sat there and talked like we talking right now. And but after the guy left, I told him, I said, "Now, how you feel now that he's like," he just asked me how long did I know? How did I find out? We talked about it. And to this day, me and the guy are still friends. To this day, we're still friends.
Okay. We got
that was part one.
Okay. Right quick. We got another guest in the studio. State your name, guest.
It's comedian Lissa P.
Lissa P.
Lissa P.
Yes.
That's signature right there. Ow, ow, ow.
Ow, ow. I had an Aaron Turner song, but I guess now's not the time for me to sing it.
We definitely got.
With mic stand drop too.
I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna sing that. No, I'm good. Thanks for having me though, Aaron. I appreciate you. It's good to meet you finally.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yay.
Definitely.
Okay, great. And I'm sorry I didn't.
That's Miss D.
Hey, Miss D. Nice to meet you, sugar.
Miss D got a story for us.
Yeah.
And it's true story.
Oh yeah.
You ain't making it up.
No.
She couldn't make up no better story so far.
Wow.
So, I know you catching on the back end, but the top is when you find out your lover is gay.
Wow.
And
she just left church.
Yeah, she just left church.
And there's probably a slew
Aaron, you should have been
in the church.
Yeah. You should have been there. You should have just went on and did a retaping of this and just been there.
Oh, we record.
Of course, I had to leave prior, but it was good though.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. All right, Miss D. We're at the cookout, right? We're at the cookout. We're talking, and so what was the conversation?
Just general conversation. Oh, what you do in life?
Okay.
Normal.
Okay.
That is normal conversation.
Also, in fairness to Lissa, we're gonna kind of summarize what we've already talked about. Can you kind of just summarize in about a couple sentences?
So far, where you at with the story?
Kind of go back.
I found out my kid's father is gay.
Wow.
10 years after we got 3 babies.
Wow.
And basically, the first thing she found out was letters from a guy that was signed that the name could have been like unisex. So she automatically
they were poems.
Yeah, poems.
Where did you find these?
And a coat pocket in the closet.
You were snooping.
Yes.
Yeah. She was snooping.
Man. Yeah, I'm gonna save it.
Yeah, she was snooping because the radar went on.
The radar.
But doing both.
Okay, have we got to how the radar went off yet?
Yeah, he had started going out a lot more, which he never done.
Wow.
He was always at home or work.
Okay.
And he started going out and hanging out more.
Okay.
Phone started going off a little more.
But correct me if I'm wrong. When the radar was going off, you had no idea what was about to happen once you found those letters and called, and I'll let you called. You put the name to the number.
It was a woman.
Yeah, you thought it was a female.
Naturally, think it's a woman, you know. And,
not a man.
Yeah, so you had the letters, and she called the person, and the caller said hello.
Miss D, tell him, but the voice wasn't that deep.
It wasn't that deep.
Do the Mexican one. Do it to that.
Hello. Yeah, like that.
Like that.
Deep.
That's hot.
Yeah.
That's a little bit better. Hello.
Yeah.
Okay, but I have a quick question.
Okay,
I think this is going to help me a little bit. Can you describe to me what he looks like? I mean, not to for me to go.
Who? Which one?
Your husband. Your
The
kid's
father.
The kid's father.
I apologize.
Right. Okay.
What does he look like? What is his build? Did he look some type of way?
No,
Not stereotyping, but
he's 6'4", about 2.
Strapping young buck.
wow, yeah.
Right,
See,
right.
you never, yeah.
Dress very nice.
So you would have never thought.
Nah,
Never
you
thought.
never thought it.
Yeah. So
Okay.
wow.
Okay.
You would never thought it.
Okay. So
I need to go back to church.
Hey. Oh, we got a church song too.
yeah, we got church. So okay, she had found the letters, and then she called the guy, and the guy invited her over the house, and they talked, say, I'm hearing about you, gave her a hug and everything, and they talked.
Yeah.
So
Let me just add,
Okay, go ahead.
it was a very young guy.
okay, much
He
younger
was-
than your kids.
Yeah, he's probably about 10 years younger. So
Okay,
it
let me
was
ask you,
very young.
what does he look like?
Very flamboyant.
Okay.
Very flamboyant. Very flamboyant.
He was the femme.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
your kid's father was the manly.
Yeah.
man.
Okay,
Exactly.
The alpha male, like they call
Right.
it, alpha male and all that type of stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll take that.
Yeah, that what they do. I deal with sexual kids and things like that. And that's
That didn't sound right, eh?
Yeah, you did. I know.
That's comics for you.
No, not like that. Not no
Sexual
Sandusky.
Yeah, don't say Dusky. Don't say
I'm talking
Dusky.
about kids who
Deal
have
with
sexual
sexual
issues.
Sexual issues.
Sexual
Right.
issues.
Issues.
Yeah, issues.
Thank you for clearing that up,
Yeah,
man.
Yes,
yeah,
thank
yeah,
you.
definitely. No Sandusky stuff here. Okay. Okay, we had to cook out. We have general conversation. So let's go from there.
When I said we had general conversation, not talking about the situation, just laughing, having a good time. But I'm sure everybody's mind was,
Okay, no, wait. I'm sorry. We need to stop because
Listen.
things aren't going right. No, I need to know, how did you feel? Did we even get to her feelings? How she felt when she saw it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had
Okay, so it must have, you didn't kill nobody because you're still here
Right.
to tell us. Okay, so how did your heart feel? Was your chest heavy? Did you?
Just no.
Yeah, oh yeah, numbness. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. We had to cook out. Jesus.
Yeah, and like I said, after we was at the cookout, have a general
You
conversation.
can laugh. It's a lot of comics.
Yeah, and then, and I really got to know the guy
Right.
personally that day, and from that point on, after they left and everything, and then that's when me and my kid's father had it out.
Okay.
I
I mean, so what was the conversation with that? I mean, what
What?
did he say? How you know him or what?
had it out. Yeah, I still had the poems,
Okay.
and I just pulled them out and showed them to him.
Man, y'all women are something. Man.
Evidence. You daggone
Yeah,
right. You
yeah.
better stop tripping.
Y'all
Do you
wouldn't
see
be-
why? Do you see why now? Okay,
Y'all
so
wouldn't- y'all-
She had a
everybody's
reason
suspect.
to.
Everybody's
That's the father to her kids.
Yes, she had
yeah.
children with this man. She laid down with this man. How long were you married, Sugar?
I won't.
Well, married. That's okay.
Oh, damn. Okay, well, with 3,
Yeah.
you went back more than once.
Yeah.
So, how long did that last? Let's just say, ask that.
We ended it in like 2007.
And so it was a total of how many?
You said something.
From 91?
Yeah, 91.
16 years.
Long time.
Six.
So yeah, she was married.
Yeah. And then it was, I believe, 2000 when all this happened.
About 2002.
So you talking?
Y'all gonna have to give me some cool down juice.
You,
Yeah.
I'm going back to church. I done told y'all. Everybody, let's pack in the Ultimate and ride.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be fair, man. When Grizzy get in, if Grizzy gonna be fair about it. Miss D go.
All right, go ahead.
And me and him, we had the confrontation about it. Of course, I pulled it. I let him explain and let him try to, Seriously, I let him try to explain before I pulled the letters out.
Right.
And, he was like, well, how do you know what I feel bad? It only happened one time. And, I don't know why it happened. He came on to me at the mall and blah, blah, blah.
It's funny. It's funny because, it's the same excuse most men would say, for like women.
Yeah.
He
exactly.
use the same lines.
Exactly. So when I pulled the poems out, and I was like, the poem says something different. This man has feelings.
Busted.
For you. This boy, actually, because he's a boy compared to...
Wow.
What you talking about? You're a boy. You're about 20.
Now that's Gerald Sandusky.
So did he go into the detail? Okay, you talking about he came on to him at the mall?
Yeah, the guy actually worked at a mall not too far from here.
Okay.
And
we at 45, 4615 West Broad Street.
Short pump.
We try to keep everything from Miss D anonymous.
Yeah, no, because we're going to find this brother. Yeah.
Okay,
and, they got to talking and, he understood. He claimed he was going through some things that he couldn't discuss with me. So I guess the guy knew better.
Okay.
And the one-time thing happened or whatever the case may have been, which actually I found out ended to be more than once.
Of course.
Always.
And so on and so on. But with this situation, how the situation ended with this one, me and the guy to this day still talk.
Right.
I mean, he'll call me, say what's up. I'll call him, say what's up. And that's that.
Okay.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Which guy?
The gay guy.
The gay lover.
The lover.
The flamboyant.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he think now in my opinion, and I don't know nothing from nothing, but he got a connection with her. He in his mind, he probably thinks like you and him are Ace Boone Coon.
Yeah, he actually made a little comment that if he ever sleeps with a woman, he wanted to be me.
Yeah. He's a young kid, you gotta remember. He's still younger than maybe what you are.
So now, but
that's a wonderful look you always have on your face.
It's a real look.
The black stare look.
Confused I am.
Yeah.
Right now. It is amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I have a question. Okay, let's backtrack a little bit. Okay, you was talking about far as you got the flamboyant guy, and excuse me, listen. Okay, as a question. Okay, the guy, the kid's father had said something to the effect of to the guy that we was going through things or things like that. So looking back on it now, do you recognize anything y'all might have been going through?
Yeah, we were.
Wait a minute, hold on. Not anything that you were going through. Did you going through?
Yeah.
I mean, just within the relationship,
he's going deeper with it.
With issues within the relationship,
right.
It's gonna be a lot.
That would have made a sign for her to know that he was on the DL.
No, not that. I'm just saying for trouble in paradise. That's what I'm saying. No. She already said from 91 to 2000, it was like pretty much no sign that she picked up. So I'm just saying for like the basic. Stuff or just any couple, whether y'all
when there's smoke, there's fire. That's what he's saying.
Like that. The things just don't boom pop
right.
up. So that's why I'm saying, looking back on it now, is there anything that you saw y'all was kind of going through
at the time? That's like any relationship you go through. There were problems, but I guess you might want me to say this to the end as to why he told me that he did it.
Oh, we can.
Yeah, say that to 11:30.
Because then you'll see that it won't nothing I did.
Right.
So
nothing you did.
And of course though, it always came back to something I done.
Okay. Should have closed one.
That was round one.
Okay, we're gonna stop at round one. GlobalScareRadio.com. Also got for the ladies 10 facts. Number 10 signs that your man is gay. There's two of them I'm gonna read right now. Let me say what's number one. The hot guys on your Facebook page. If your man got more hot guys that he don't know, as opposed to women on the Facebook page, that's a radar.
Gaydar's going totally off.
That's a radar. And let's go with number two. Would be the beauty pageant obsession. If he want to look at the beauty pageant as opposed to Monday Night Football,
right? Can I say something about that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Since we're speaking on the subject, all right, look. This Grizzy and all points of views that come from Grizzy are not reflective of the Aaron Turner Show or GlobalScaleRadio.com. I have friends that are gay and lesbian. Mm-hmm. I decided one day to partake in the culture of the lesbian friends that I know. And we went to a cabaret / pageant in Richmond, famous, gay spot in Richmond. And honestly, and I guess I will get to this later on in the show, because one of the gay friends of mine was a real good friend of mine. We dated. I had no clue that she was gay. The one thing that I'll make it quick. The one thing that came out to me that says is a red flag is that we kept getting to third base, but never hit a home run. Mm-hmm. And not until she came out to me, I was like, oh, well, that's obvious. Okay, I see you're gay. You can say it on the radio. What?
Oh, what is? I don't want to say that.
Third base, a home run. All right, first base. I know
what a home run is. What is third base?
Third base is like
almost.
You're almost there. She playing with my tallywhacker.
Okay. So one is kissing the sorry, the baby.
Yeah, we're almost there. So all right, so she comes out, I accept it. I'm like, okay, there's plenty of women in the world, so I ain't, don't sweat off my balls or anything. But her girlfriend was hot, and of course, the dude that I'm like, okay, so I'm thinking, maybe something might jump off. Anyway, we get out to this spot, and I was amazed. The first time for me, and Southern conservative Richmond, Virginia, as a straight guy, noticing like the underground, gay environment that's here. Because we push it under the covers, people, and they have to hide, they have to go into certain spots to do their thing. But when I went in there was a pageant. And the pageant was a bunch of trannies or transvestites.
Must have been Godfrey's. I've been before.
I was thinking that.
Yeah.
It wasn't Godfrey's, whatever, it was Colors.
Oh, the boss.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah. Well, I don't know if it was Colors. This was, I would say it was around the early 2000s, I think. And as me, I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna be so tight up on these girls because I don't want to go in there being at that time a little bit more homophobe. Like I don't want anybody in there thinking that I'm gay. So I'm in that looking at their ass, feeling on them, touching on them, which they don't mind. They they play right along with it. They don't want me. So the pageant starts. Diana Ross, Diane Carroll, and his sister that was a diva walked out of there, and these were dudes. But the dudes that were there, that were enamored with them, giving them roses and money and stuff like that, were the hardest looking thugs in Richmond. And I was looking like, do I know any of these dudes that grew up with or around my way? Just for the simple fact that I was amazed that they were regular dudes, that looked just like me, you, but bigger, stronger, real more masculine, and they was just going hard on these trannies that was doing the pageant.
Right.
I said, am I high? Did I smoke some PCP? Did I do something? I said, what the hell y'all got me up in here doing? I said, tonight we all fucking just be, y'all got me, man. I just wanted to say that when you say you didn't know, I ain't know neither.
Yeah.
I ain't know neither. They could pull the walls over their eyes, but they pull the wool over people's eyes because we done pushed them into Sorry about that.
We're back. Aaron Turner Show. We had a little technical difficulty there. Al Green, Jesus was Waiting. Wonderful song.
Great song.
Yes, for the topic.
Yeah, wonderful song. Okay, we're going to get back in with Miss D. We're at the point of, the kid's father, you're talking about it, he's saying, how do you know him? How did he get here and all this type of stuff. So let's go from there.
like I said, I brought the letters out to him, showed it to him. We had a confrontation. I ain't gonna lie, we had a confrontation about it.
Like,
It was physical.
Oh, wow.
It ended up being physical. But you know, before the confrontation, it was I let him tell his lies, which that's what they were. Like I say, he said it only happened one time, and you know, and he, I just was down, and when he listened to me and blah blah blah. Okay, well, this man got feelings for you. So he's like, how you know? And that's when I bought the letters out. Man, I got 4 pages here. A poetry.
Leah Jones.
And
I'm sorry, man.
and but I forgave him. I let it go. I didn't forget, but I mean, we got 3 kids together. So it's like anything else. You try to hold on to it.
Okay. Also, let's go back a little. Let's go back a little bit. Listen, ready to get in. I'm gonna let you get in. Give me a couple seconds. Let's go back to that question. I say, what kind of signs did we see earlier? As far as was it? Regular relationships.
Yeah, once he told me that he listened to him and blah stuff like that. It made me feel like, okay, I need to listen to you more. Which I thought it was. I got 3 babies here. So, I mean, I'm full-time mom,
right.
Plus I was working. He was working. So, whatever problems we was having, he took it outside the house. Okay. Which is just like basically any man, but it could have been with a woman, That went on for about a good year and a half. Everything back to 91 now. We act like we, just met and everything good.
So you just forgave, just squashed it?
Just squashed it. Didn't forget it, but just squashed it. But
at the same Christian time, of you.
But at the same time, I am still talking to the lover. Okay. Actually, I learned from him. I learned a lot of things from him as far as really now what to really look out for and stuff. And they weren't messing with each other anymore. I do know that much. Okay. I do know that. Okay, about a year and a half goes by. Hey, I found a phone number in the pocket. Same pocket with the poems.
You need to get rid of them pair of
but this time it got some Trojans in it. All right. Name on the phone number was written on the piece of paper. Unisex again. I'm saying okay. When I called this time though, the guy had that deep voice.
Hello.
And I just said,
okay, hold on one second. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I gotta get Alyssa in because because I want to kind of get she's the other woman in the room, so I want to kind of get her in there. But okay, Miss D, you can just keep it.
Okay, and but this time, like that deep voice answered the phone, and that right there dropped my heart.
What up?
That dropped my heart right there.
It was the second time.
It was the second time.
Yeah.
And how long? This is a year.
This is about a year and a half.
Year and a half. Okay.
Almost 2 years.
And he already say we done.
We done. We back to 91 now. We back to where we was at.
Good times.
We back there again.
Good times.
Yeah. It was good times.
Good times.
We had good times.
After the
yeah.
Get on the mic, listen.
After 91, and that's when we met.
Yeah. The good times back in the old days.
In the old days.
Good times.
But
when Color Me Bad was out.
Yeah. All right, go ahead. We stopping the rock. Go ahead.
But this time, the guys, when I asked for the person, the guy said, "Oh, that's my brother." And I said,
"You got no damn."
First he said, "Oh no, this is such and such," and I was like, "Phew, maybe this time it is a woman." But he said, "But you looking for my brother, your brother?" I'm like, "Oh, can I cuss?"
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
And and
under those circumstances,
so I asked the brother, and I was like, I mentioned my kid's father's name, and he was like, "No, I don't know him." And I was like, "Okay." I said, "Well, can I talk to your brother?" And he's like, "For what?" And I said,
offensive.
Well, I just want to figure out how he know my kid's father.
Right.
And he's like, what you mean? You know, he gets real offensive about it. And he's like, well, and I just broke it down to him. I said, look, I done been through the situation before where this man is messing with another man. Right. Now I guess he messing with your brother. Since I got to be nasty with you. Right. So he's like, oh, my brother's married with kids. What you trying to do? No, what you trying to do?
That's crazy.
Wow. So anyway, that blowed off after a couple of hang up in the faces and this, that, and the third. And this is probably when Google got real popular. When you can
I'm
just
Googling myself right now.
And put in a couple of names and phone numbers, and you go to Verizon, and they'll reverse the search for you and get an address.
Wow, she's so everything.
Inspector Gadget.
She's a woman.
Yeah. So, and I ended up going to the guy's job. Make a long story short. I ended up going to the guy's job. Introduced myself to the man. He just looked at me like I was stupid, asked me what I'm trying to do, break up his family. Am I trying to break up your family? What you mean? Well, I don't want my wife to find out. That's that you just make sure. Oh, he threatened, basically. If I hear it, I know it came from you, and I know where you live. I've been in your house. Oh, you been in my house. You got a question?
I have a question, but I'm more like, why are you so worried that I'm talking about the guy? Like, he's trying to be protective of his wife?
Yes.
Man, all right, go ahead, Mr. I got him. I got him.
Yeah, he didn't want his wife to know. He didn't want his
I got all y'all.
He didn't want his family to know. I done already told your brother, you know, and he didn't want his family to know. That wasn't my thing, to go to his wife and say all that, and I won't go do that.
You had every right to.
Exactly. But it wasn't my thing. I done already been through it, so I can imagine what she felt like. Okay. So that one kind of blowed off. So at this point in time, we at a point now where I got to sit back and think. I can either go to Richmond City, or they ship me out of state to some penitentiary, or I got to try to correct this, or try to figure out what's really going on. I got 3 kids now. I can't just go to jail. No. So I sat back and I thought
I would have chose the penitentiary.
The penitentiary for 200.
You would have got about 3 years. Yeah, you told the judge this story. You would have got about 3 years, 2 suspended.
I wouldn't even got no time. It would have been insanity, because for real.
Yeah. You would have got a Michael Moore child to represent you or something.
Go ahead.
Exactly.
Okay.
But,
all right, Ms. D.
So I just sat back and thought about it. And what I did is, after I confronted him again on this one, and I was like, it happened again. But this time, the guy did tell me it happened more than one time. And I told him, I said, well, what did I listen to this time? What's going on in your world now I'm not listening to? That wasn't it. So he's just some things you just don't understand. This is the excuse I got this time. Some things you just don't understand. And so from that point on, I tried to make it work. I went to the clubs with him, but at this time now, I'm going to the gay clubs. I'm trying to do everything to keep this man, because I got kids by this man, which is every woman's excuse to hold on to him, and that's not a good excuse. Oh, God. I'm going to gay clubs. I'm meeting other people, not that he's been with, but just that's affiliated in his world.
So basically, you're just trying to just kind of please him,
just trying to please him,
keep the whole relationship going.
And I went as far as pleasing him. I think that a woman can far as go. I went. I don't know if I can say this.
You can say it.
Oh, I went as far as having threesomes with him and guys.
Oh, hell no. I have got to talk.
Go ahead, let's
No, fuck that. Okay, now I cannot shut up.
And it was protected.
I don't care if it was protected. This man has, you know what? I can't even.
She can't speak.
I can't.
Hey, listen, speechless is saying a lot.
But I'm just saying, you went through that, but still, and see, that's what we do, and I can speak from experience, trying to please people, just to make somebody else happy, and also what she's going through to really make her kids happy, to make her family. I don't have any kids, so I really can't say I understand that part, but I do, because I have nieces and nephews. But for you to go that far, seriously, She didn't do it with another woman.
Right.
You know, she did it with her kid's father and another man.
Right.
And he was okay with that, right?
Yep.
Of course it was.
Right.
But in the process, were you okay with it? Really? When you did that with, now, if you tell me yes, then I'll be done with my conversation. But if you tell me no, honestly, really in your gut, did you feel? And let me ask you this question: did they do it in front of you?
It's a three-parter.
Okay, we gonna go more in detail with it. Good. Yeah.
The first time, I was uncomfortable because they kind of, quote unquote, tricked me, kind of in a way. And but once it got started, it got started.
Okay, let's go back and kind of get in more detail because this is the Aaron Turner Show. I mean, we can get detail with it, you know. So just getting detail, you know, you talking about tricking you and stuff like that.
We just had an awkward silence. Grizzly had to come in because I'm sure we got a lot of feedback, and you want me to throw out the number? 804-726-3430, globalscareradio.com. You can give us a call. Lines won't be open yet, y'all. We won't let Ms. D get in her story. But if anybody's listening, I'm sure y'all got plenty to say. We're gonna open the lines up. That's just the number. Stay tuned. Go ahead, eh?
And go ahead, Ms. D. You got the floor. There's no more interruptions. Okay. Just let her have the floor, and we have a time, to talk and everything. So. Okay. Let's go back in detail as far as you say they tricked you.
Yeah. Well, how is kind of explain it? I walked in on them.
Okay. At your house?
Yes, but not in the physical form. They were just there, and I could tell something had been going on. And when my kid's father turned his back, his friend kind of came on to me. And I'm like, okay, what is going on
I think he tried to do that as cover. Like, I think both of them said, well, go ahead. I'm finished. Go ahead.
Yeah. Knowing the person.
Right,
yeah, that is what it was, knowing another person. But, I mean, he asked me, would I do it? Mm-hmm. And I said, yeah. And like she said, you do anything to please people. Like I said, I was just trying to hold on to him. Now, understand, he was my first. He took my virginity. I got 3 kids. I ain't know nobody else within a 10-year period. There nobody but him.
You ain't got to justify. You good.
So, I just took it for what it was.
Okay.
And I did it, and it ended up happening more than one time. And she asked me, did I guess, enjoy it? The first time was kind of awkward, but it made him happy, so I was happy.
Okay.
Now, getting to where it gets down to the part where I couldn't take no more is when it was New Year's Eve. Well, let me just back up. Before all this, the threesomes was going on. I'm going to the clubs with them. I got these people in and out my house. I'm hanging with them. I'm in a whole nother world, like you said, culture. I'm in a whole nother culture. Mm-hmm. And I got a little bit uncomfortable with it. I started seeing changes in my kids. Mm-hmm. And it was like they knew something was going on, So, one New Year's Eve, we was at my family's house, and like I said, I already knew he was, if you want to call it bisexual, gay, whatever you want to call it. I already knew this. He announces it at, I'll never forget it, 11:45, New Year's Eve, at my family's house, at a New Year's Eve party in front of my family. And now that right there made a couple of Corona bottles bust. Mm-hmm. And where I had to be taken down. So after that little incident, my family just they came to me with, oh, we knew, we You couldn't see it. We kind of had a feeling about that anyway.
But they knew, ain't say nothing to you.
But they ain't say nothing to me.
All right.
I'm sorry. Can I just ask really quick? What actually did he say?
He said, I just want everybody to know I'm tired of hiding from people and tired of not being able to do what I want to do. And I'm tired of, I know people talking about me behind my back, and I'm tired of this, that, and the third. And I just want y'all to know that, yes, I am gay. Yes, I like men. Kids standing there.
You okay?
They bust out crying, yeah. They bust out crying. That's when the blackout started.
Hey, I had blacked out.
The blacking out started, and like I said, I got to take it down that night. But the next going into that morning, the same night or whatever, you know, he gets on the phone and he calls his mom and, Mama, I just told everybody that I was gay and up there, just, you know, at the residence or whatever, and now I don't know what's gonna happen. I just want you to know that I'm gay. And his mama busts out crying on the phone and all this stuff. And once everything kind of calmed down, he said he already knew he was gay. When he met me in 91, he was going with a guy. And he told the guy he didn't want this lifestyle no more because, as you know, people try to keep things on hush-hush in families. And so that's the kind of situation it was. He didn't want to be, I guess, the black sheep of his family. So he didn't want anybody to know.
It ain't in my chest.
We're back with the topic. When you find out your lover is gay, Ms. D pretty much expressed her
gave us a real story,
a real story and stuff. And we do apologize for keep on interrupting you, but it's so powerful. And you know, and I give you the praise because you know you here, you strong.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's a lot. I mean that's a lot, you know. So,
but that other dude. That's sons of the
jump up to get beat down.
Yeah, we will chill with that powerful now. But we're going on to ask you a couple questions if you're okay with that. I think Lissa P, she been kind of just
Lissa P. Hey, for folks that can't see, Lissa P done bust out pen and paper through the whole time she sat down. Yo, she got some.
No, I'm just. Like I said,
don't be speechless.
Yeah, like I said, you have my heart because I know it's not in my chest anymore. So, I think I'm just now how you said it was brought out with your kids. Like I said, I feel for you, but for young minds like that who have to deal with things this day and age, just for them to go through that. Now, when he said it at the party, what year was this?
Like 2006, 2007.
So the ages that you gave me of your kids, that's the age they are now.
Yes, that's the age they are now. So
she's doing the calculations, ladies and gentlemen.
So your 12-year-old was about, 8?
Yeah, they was young.
Yeah, they were really young. Okay. So did your kids have to go through counseling?
They went through counseling for some things, not specific,
related.
But that was brought out in counseling.
Okay.
For something else they had to go through.
So did not even getting into the other thing that they went through, but was it because of their father? The other thing that they went through. Okay.
So I want to interrupt you right there. We had talked about, and that's actually for another show.
Oh, okay.
That she has to be coming on for another show, and like I said, you know, when they come out for another show,
getting a twofer,
and yeah, and like I say, you know, she's expressed to me with it, and like I said, that's why when you really find out, you know, you got to give her some praise because she's here.
Oh, I'm already giving her praise.
I mean, with this alone, but like I say, it's more to it. And
she blacked out
because we would have been sending you canteen money. I would have came down to the women's side of the jail and put some on your books.
Yeah,
seriously.
I got a question. I got a question. Like, describe today what your relationship is with the father of Like, how is the relationship? Like, how do y'all get along? How do y'all communicate? How do y'all manage being parents with everything that has taken place? And I'm sure it was a process to get there.
Yes.
And even if how it is, if it's good, bad, or whatever.
We can't be in the same room for an hour.
Right.
But we got 3 kids.
Right.
3 beautiful girls. And so we got to do what we got to do. All that stuff is out the window when it comes to the kids. But as far as, no, I don't go to the clubs with him.
Right.
We don't hang out. We talk on the phone. You know, he'll call me now if something's wrong. You know, he want to talk or something. I guess we have a no physical relationship, just for the kids.
Describe to him, because from the story you just shared with everybody, like, I got take away the fact that he outed himself and he's gay. And you could be gay and still be a decent parent, but it doesn't sound like to me, even through the midst of that, like he was a decent parent. Like, describe to me how would you describe him as a parent today?
Today he's an awesome father.
Really?
He takes care of his kids.
Right.
I think once he got himself straight, I guess by him bringing it out on New Year's, and he started his process of getting himself together, it made him a kind of a better person.
Right. So do you think, compared, like, from 91 to when you all split, and from the time he came out to the person he is now, 2 different people, right?
Yes, there was actually 4 or 5 different people.
4 or 5 different people. But the latter guy was better than the first guy.
Yeah.
And I asked her this because, in my opinion, it's only Grizz's opinion, not the Aaron Turner Show or Global Scale Radio, this dude was in the closet, and not to make excuses for folks that hide in the shadows, but if society has got all of this anti-gay, anti-this, anti-that, gay people would not be like that if they didn't feel like they could come out and be who they are to the people that they know, either his family,
exactly, and it was
to
his
you,
family,
or whatever. So they make them not be who they. It's like they gotta transform. You ever remember the show Transformers?
Right.
You know, it's an airplane. Oh no, it's Starscream. You know, you gotta transform it. That's what is the crime in all this, because like I said earlier during the break, he cut the dude, he gonna bleed just like anybody else. To me, what was wrong was he didn't feel like, as a man, he could say, this is who I am, and share that with you before bringing children involved, other family involved, and taking people through that.
He was selfish.
That's a selfish act. Had nothing to do. And I try to say, because a lot of people say that I'm homophobic and I like to do the gay bashing thing, and I don't. But it has nothing to do with the fact that the dude is gay. It was just the way he went about it was totally foul, and he got off easy by you blacking out. Because we would have been down there, you know, putting up her commissary.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I would have bought her puzzles.
Yeah, and you know, like you say, I think society definitely plays a lot, and again, not excusing by any means. You know, the word selfish came up, which, you know, I truly agree, because, you know, it would have been so much easier back in '91 when he met you, and I was kind of just hitting it off, say, look, you know, I got something to tell you, you know, I don't think it's gonna work out because you know, I'm this way, and you know, and be done with it. You can move on with your life. You know, he can move on with his. It'd been so much simpler. Right. And that's with anybody, you know, whether it's male, female, whatever. You know, you feel, you know, you know, you gotta be honest with yourself. You know, you knew you want that person, and you know, it's not gonna change. You know, it's not gonna change. You know, I think you mentioned that. You know, he said he used to be in that lifestyle, used to have a relationship and different things like that. Like
is
I said,
he still gay?
Yeah,
yeah. And,
is he still gay? Is that what you asked, Grizzy?
Yeah, like
is he still gay to this day?
Yeah, because
yes, Grizzy.
I'm sure, but they dipped and dabbed a little bit, right?
But this is what I was gonna say. Right. That's what I was gonna say.
Who dips and dabs?
He did.
Well, y'all let me finish.
I'm sorry. You get comics on. You get comics on the show.
Y'all just wanted,
and we looking for all kinds of lies.
Yeah, y'all be all funny.
I got them.
But anyway, what I was saying, you know, just you know, professional, you know, my professional opinion, you know, I deal with this, you know, and most of the time, if they do it, it's going to be there. It's going to be there. You know, they might masquerade it for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, but it's always going to be there. And, you know, he should have known that. And unfortunately with women, you know, you have that, quote, down low brother. And a lot of brothers are like that, and you know they say I'm gonna you know do the same thing. That's what happened to you. You know, I'm gonna find somebody, I'm gonna marry somebody, I'm gonna try to hide this. But you know, if it's in them, it's in them.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
As a professional, you're the professional. I'm not. Like, what would possess, other than society or the environment, to make people masquerade like that? Like, what would possess somebody to masquerade like that? Like, for me, if I am Clark Kent here, and I don't want nobody to know that I'm Superman, but I'm Superman, I can, you know, fight crime, save the earth, all this. Why would I hide it? Maybe is it an esteem issue? Is it they not comfortable with coming to recognize who they are? You know, we got a caller?
Yeah, we do got a caller.
All right, we won't get them on. Turn the show. We're about to go in about 33 seconds, all right? Caller, you on the air?
Hello?
There you go. What's your name? Where you calling from? Or you can
My
get
name is Justin. I am from Richmond, Virginia.
All right, Justin.
Hey, Rita.
Hi, Justin. How are you,
How
sugar?
you doing, bro?
Good. I love you.
I love you more. So I was listening to your discussion on men on the down low. I would say about a year and a half ago, recently watched a documentary on this exact subject. And what the documentary basically says is, you know, the gay community is much different in the black world than it is in the white world. You know, they say that because, you know, growing up in the church and growing up in such a perceivably conservative background, you already have society working against you, being that you are African American, as opposed, and then, you know, add the gay thing on top of it, it's just, you know, you're totally screwed, you know? And so I think that, you know, the environment that you're raised in is pretty much the environment you're going to reflect in your everyday, day-to-day life.
That's definitely an excellent point, and I was actually going to answer Grizzy, and you kind of answer a lot of the you know, a lot of his question, and I do agree. And but it's so funny, you know, he mentioned a black church when a lot of gay men are in the black church. You know, yeah, and that's crazy because you know you got to think about the gay choir director, the preacher, the deacon, whatever, and you know we in the black community. Yes, he probably is.
But Deacon,
you know?
Okay, I just recognize it.
Yeah. No, I was talking about you, Justin. I was talking about the Diggin. You know, yeah. But yes, and that's a very interesting point. But it's crazy that but most of the men, I won't say most of them, a lot of the men that's in the church are gay.
And I think that's almost as if they use that obviously as part of the cover. And that is, unfortunately, a big reason why I feel that AIDS is so rampant in the African-American community.
Okay.
I agree.
Okay. Also, Justin, why do you think, I guess what you're saying is more accepted in the white community than the black community? I know you mentioned in the black community as far as, you know, churches and different things like that. So why do you think it's more accepted in the Caucasian, probably other communities in itself? Why do you think
Not Arabs.
I think that when you are already a minority, you already have society working against you. And I, as a white man, have had a basic card, quote-unquote, of white privilege my entire life. And so the fact that I am gay, while it is obviously very much looked down upon as a society as a whole, it is not something that I, quote-unquote, can't overcome, unfortunately, just based on my race. I think that, you know, society obviously treats African Americans much differently, you know, due to racism and the historical legacy the homosexual element to it, that's almost a sort of like a double-edged sword. It's not something that you can almost either be just one or the other. You can't be both. It puts you at an extreme disadvantage in this country. And I think from watching the documentary, the impression that I got is because of that, that is why a lot of men choose to be on the DL. It's because there was this one story in the documentary which really broke my heart. There's a couple together, and this guy was trying to fight for custody of his son, and he basically was forced to keep it a secret, the fact that he was gay. Although I don't know what happened after the documentary was filmed. He should have known that there were cameras around. But no, he was basically forced to hide the fact that he was gay because, it was, the mother was a bad mother, on drugs, kind of abandoned the kid, but it was almost better for him to parade that he was straight as opposed to being gay so he could get custody of his child. And I think that, society obviously, reflects what is going on. Society as a whole is just a bigger scope, I guess, picture of what's going on in the smaller communities. And I think that, it's unfortunate. It really is.
Okay, one more question I got for you. We talked to Ms. D about, she was saying that the kid's father in the early stages say that, he used to, deal in a gay relationship but not anymore. Do you think that, I was actually saying about this before you called. Do you think, as a gay male, that that you can, I guess, kind of quote cut it off and go into a relationship with a female and produce kids?
Right.
Honestly, do you think that as a gay male, is that possible to do?
I think this has always been my view on this. When you are born, you have your natural color hair, like I have brown hair. You can dye your hair any color of the rainbow. You can dye it blonde, red, pink, blue, whatever. But at the end of the day, you're always going to have those brown roots.
That's
deep. At the end
deep.
of the day, you're always going to be gay. Now, that doesn't mean that, yes, as a gay man, that you can get married, because obviously being gay it's not solely about the sex, although you are sexually attracted to another person. It's about, who you are and what you're about and your everything else. So yes, I do believe, and there are several obviously cases of gay men marrying women and, having children and stuff like that. But I 100% can tell you with absolute certainty that being gay is absolutely not a choice. It is who you are. It's who you're born. Like, you didn't have a choice to be black. You didn't have a choice to be Hispanic, a girl, a boy, whatever. You are who you are at the end of the day.
I love you, Justin.
Wow.
I love you too, Wes.
Wow, that's deep. We got some love on the Aaron Turner Show. Thanks a million, Justin.
I love the show, and I love Wissa, and I cannot wait to see her on Sunday. She's in my house.
Yay! I'll be there for the graduation party. Ow, ow!
Yeah, I'm pouring tonight.
Okay, thank you, Justin.
All right, Justin. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Yay.
Wonderful caller. Again, shout out to Justin giving us some
Good analogy.
Definitely with the roots and everything. I like that.
Yep.
I like that. Grizzly, you had a question. You had a question before.
I got a statement. It's like I said, you cut anybody. You got to bring the people who are in the closet out of the closet. It's difficult because who would choose to come out of the closet to be discriminated against? Like if before Jim Crow or something, or before slavery, if you gave me a choice, it said, "Oh, would you like to be born in white bread privilege in Connecticut, or would you like to go be born on Gullah Gullah Island in South Carolina?" And it's 1814.
Gullah Island.
Gullah Gullah Island's in South Carolina.
Yeah.
So I mean, like if you gave me a choice and I had no idea on the kaleidoscope what a racist felt, I just knew that white people got it this way. Justin gave a good example. He was born into white privilege as a white person, or you could go down south, pick some cotton and work. It's obvious I'm going to choose that than the other. I had no choice though, being born of African American descent. So people should be able to be who they are, come out of the shadows, and people need to be educated, learn tolerance, because without it, you're going to have these examples like Ms. D shared with us today. Or you're going to have examples where guys are on the down low and spreading, especially in the African American community, spreading HIV. That, to me, is so retarded. It's like stupid, but you could be a gay person or a lesbian person or a transgender person, and you could say, Grizzy, I'm gay. I'm like, all right, that worked for you.
Right.
But you could say that to somebody else, and somebody might downgrade, and that makes you go further and further underneath the radar.
Right. Okay.
And I think that people need to understand that by the straight community doing that and pushing people under the radar, that's putting a lot of stuff and people in jeopardy. Families, health. It's crazy.
And that's one thing I wanted to ask you as well, Ms. D, as far as health. The first thing when you found out about him or what he wanted to do, did you worry about as far as STDs or,
Yeah, actually I did in the beginning. But again, at the time, I was younger, so I was very nonchalant to a lot of things. So I did go to the doctor, got tested, of course, and I continue to get tested throughout the whole process. Now, even though it's kind of a gap in between for me finding out until the time we actually split, we were not sexually involved. We slept under the same roof, but in different beds, different rooms. Again, all because we both were confused at the time of what we're going to do with the kids. At this particular time that this was going on too, things happened with the kids that we really had to be there together, so we couldn't split. We had to be there together. And but we just wasn't physical or sexual, I should say. We wasn't sexual at all. For years, actually.
Let me ask, what have you done for you? What have you done for your peace of mind? How have you gotten here? Or do you feel like, do you have a peace of mind?
A lot of Xanax and
yes.
A lot of Ambien at night. Wow. But not seriously. I went through a process while I was down at MCV. Wow. And it wasn't suicidal. My papers strictly say homicidal thoughts. Yeah. And so they kind of green-wanted me. And but I had a good...
I would think that's normal. You want to kill somebody after all that. That's normal.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm getting at. That's what the psychiatrist said. Right. My psychiatrist said, I have a good psychiatrist. He said, when I told him the story, he actually started crying. Not me. He's like, you sitting here telling me this like you... it's like...
You almost got me, Ms. D, over here. You almost got me.
But he said, he told me, I can't believe you didn't pull into jail time for this, and I mean, he actually told me that. But I guess maybe my upbringing,
a forgiving heart.
Yeah, a forgiving heart. I've been through some things, so I guess I kind of felt sorry for him. Yeah. I mean, we had been through some things together, so many years together.
16.
Why would I just throw him to the wolves?
I feel like, and being the nasty part of it, I would throw him to the wolves because he threw you and your girls to the wolves. So he didn't think about you, so I wouldn't have thought about him either. But then you're right, that still wouldn't have been the right side.
I can't play tit for tat.
Right. I don't know if anybody's listening, like the tone of the show, and I'm trying to be the even guy, like the intelligent guy. I'm an asshole. I can say a-hole, right? I'm sorry. I'm an a-hole when I want to be, but if y'all ever heard Grizzy here at Global Scale, I have never been, like, serious like this in a minute. Yeah. To be fair, this sister right here, I mean, her story says a lot about how you can forgive and move on. Yeah. Makes no through all that y'all heard, she could have easily went the other way, and that could have damaged her and her kids' life. So just to say that you pulled through it, you got help with it, you get professional help or whatever help you, and I think you got a relationship with the man upstairs that keep you grounded.
Exactly.
You know, if he could pull you through something like this, like I know I've been through things in my life. I'm gonna get to testifying.
Go ahead,
I go through things in my life where I can lock myself in my room when my wife and kids are long gone, and I can't talk to her. I can't talk. Well, my kids ain't gonna listen to me anyway. Right. But I just shut the door and just quietness.
That's what you're supposed to do.
And I just listen.
Listen to Al Green.
That's what
and listen to Al Green. And trust me, that Al Green song
trying to turn it around because we're getting serious in here. I'm for real. I'm going to share some tears
because that will get you over moments like this. Now, I ain't even came close to having one, but if I ever did, I know who to lean on.
Yeah, and you're right, because he teaches us how to forgive, and he forgive us, and, we got to forgive the next one. As hard as it is, because a situation like that, I'm telling you, penitentiary time, no problem. I'm telling you, I would have told them, let me tell you what I want to do.
You can't get locked up, listen.
Yeah, I can't, because I don't want to be anybody's boo.
You want to be a dude's boo. You don't want to be a sister's boo.
Not Marcella's boo. That's okay.
This story here is gonna jade you a little bit. You got, like I said, we got to screen anybody that's dating Lissa P. Straight up.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Seriously, I'm for real.
But again, like I said, I give you so much, because you definitely a strong sister, and again, like I said, she will come back for some other stuff, and this is deep, but I'm gonna backtrack of how we met. She reached out to me, and I'm going to tell the little story. She reached out to me. I'm not going to get into details. She reached out to me, and we talked, and she told me her story. And she said she wanted to express it. I said, really? Mm-hmm. You want to, get real deep? So you want to get real deep like that? I said, this is global scale. This is Aaron Turner Show. This is worldwide. You ready for that? And she said, yeah. I don't care. I wanted to express it so because, you got people out there need to hear it.
Yep.
And again, like I said, this is part one of Miss D's story. She got a part two that's really, touching as well.
Cliffhanger.
Yeah, and we'll do it. This is how. Yeah, but listen, people gonna be listening in on that one.
Aaron Turner Show.
I don't even want to be here for that one. I hardly can't handle that.
Aaron Turner Show, Lissa P. I leave here. Or for the most part, emotionally drained.
Oh no, I don't want to do that.
Emotionally drained. No, not all of them. No, we had some good fun times. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. We had a good fun time last week. So much fun that one of the listeners was like, "Who y'all have on last week doing all that cursing and profanity?" That was me, one of them, anyway.
I'm sorry. We had to tone it down a little bit, but
it was a wild and crazy show.
Anyway, like I say, I personally wanted to get her story on. She was willing to say somebody, I want to get her story on. And I said, especially for women. Especially for women.
They got to hear that.
And especially women in the African American community, because it's rampant out here with the, quote, down low brothers and different things like that. So I wanted somebody to hear a real life story. This is not no fake stuff.
It's not fake, y'all.
This is real. This is truly real.
Couldn't write it in a book.
I just hope that, a lot of women out there and, and even men who was in that situation, stop being selfish. Don't be selfish and pulling kids and, other women, innocent people in your mess. And I'm going to say mess, and,
that's what it is.
Yeah, and if you are that way, be that way, be happy who you are. Us at the Aaron Turner Show, I'm not gonna judge you. I don't judge anybody. I love everybody. But
me too.
Yeah, and also Lissa P.
I can accept it. I don't love everybody. I can accept everybody. I know what y'all saying. Y'all know how I gotta play on
words. We gotta love everybody here, but I gotta express to them guys like that who might be in that situation. Might be somebody who listen now. Like, hey,
be a man.
Call in.
Yeah, call in, be a man. Stop.
Give us your name so we'll know.
Listen, people, what a list of all of them that's in Richmond, Virginia.
She want a Schindler's List.
What is the email address
for the Schindler's List at the gate? We had the Aaron Turner Show here at GlobalScaleRadio.com. 9:30 to 11:30 here, GlobalScaleRadio.com. 804-726-3430 if y'all got something to say about today's mind-blowing show. Great story about Miss D. Lissa P's in the house. Jay Grizzly Green's in the house. And in the house is the man of the hour, the host, Aaron Turner. Take it away, eh?
All right, GlobalScaleRadio.com. Sorry, you guys, I had to take a little bathroom break, but that's why Jay Grizzly came on. We real on Aaron Turner, so we real.
Yes, sir, we will.
We real. Again, like I said, I can't say enough about you, Miss D, your strength, and and just the forgiveness factor we had talked about. It's really awesome. What I'm gonna ask you now, how's your relationship now, far as with your kid's father, and also how's your mindset far as maybe like dating and looking
the relationship with him is okay. Like I said, we can't be in the same room for about an hour together though. But we got kids and we've got situations, family situations, so we gotta do that. We gotta put all things aside and take care of these kids. So we do manage to do that. He's a good father, regardless of what I've just said about him. He is a good father, to his kids and stuff. And he actually is a good-hearted person. I mean, I guess maybe because I'm the baby mama, that I can call him at any time and say I need such and such, and he's right there. Regardless of what we done been through, physical, mental, emotional, he's right there. As far as my mindset now, it's gotten a little better. At the beginning, I ain't trust no man.
Don't blame me.
Sister, that's now.
I mean, even now, you're right. It's even now too. But I have found that, I don't hide the story from nobody. I tell people, this is a dinner conversation.
Right.
You take me out to dinner, this is a conversation we gonna have.
Wow.
And that's because I'm filtering you out.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. I could tell by your body language, what you say about it, if I need to kick you to the curb.
Wow.
Or if I need to
be
careful, keep it moving, or if I need to, or if I just need to let you go. Let me put it that way. Right. So I don't hide this from people. I mean, it's been a good life lesson for me. Mm-hmm. I learned a lot from it. I learned how to deal with a lot of people behind it. Mm-hmm. But right now I'm single, not dating anybody. Right now.
You said that like you looking.
I mean, I'm a woman.
Everybody wants booty duty.
I'm married. I'm married.
You want booty duty even while you married, brother?
I gotta redate my. Is that a new word?
Back to Miss D.
Redate my wife.
I'm human.
I got you.
Okay, it's nothing that Priscilla's that I need.
That's what I
can't do nothing from me over there.
There we go. Well, we getting back to
get back to the top.
But but I just be careful,
right?
Because of not just this situation, but the other situations I be on the show about too. I just be careful about who I deal with,
right,
and stuff. So I don't have nothing against nobody being gay, but
be who you are.
Be who you are, but we just can't have no relationship,
right?
No sexual relationship.
Like that's, I think, and I'm sorry, can I say something?
Go ahead.
Like, how much realer can that statement be? I don't have no problem with you being gay. Just don't.
We can't,
don't bring it. I mean, we could be friends, but don't bring it in my. I think we were talking outside. We were coming in. Like, I don't want to be. I don't want to be at a club. No matter
we looking at the same thing.
Yeah.
And then trying to put a bet on who will take them on.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't want to have to worry about that. I've never had, to my knowledge, a gay person hit on me. But then again, I wouldn't know if he was unless it was obvious. What's the one of the top 10s on there?
I'm
I'm glad you said
that.
Good segue.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you say that because I'm I already say like two, and this is more so for the comedians in the room.
Yeah, so come on, let's go.
Let me get my pen.
Let's kind of get into this. I already say the beauty pageant. Say the more hot guys on Facebook than girls.
It's raining, man.
Okay. This one they say the downright gay bashing, which that's little.
That's true. That is true. That is true.
That's like the super. That's like the bizarre world.
You might as well put the light bulb over your head and say, "I'm that."
Like if on Superman had Bizarro, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were getting it in.
That's a sick mind right there.
I'm saying. You don't remember Super Friends?
I remember, but that's
they was getting it in.
This is Jay Grizzly.
He hated Bizarro. Hated Superman. Superman being good said, "Okay, I'm gonna fight you," but really they were kind of like gay tussling.
Continue, Aaron, please.
Thank you.
Go, Aaron.
Anyway, the fashion compliments. This a normal male would say, "You look beautiful." Listen, you look beautiful. The gay dog comes on when, listen, your top matches your shoes.
I complimented on her hair.
But that's a little bit different. That's a little bit different. You always compliment women on the hair. You know, your top match your shoes.
I'm trying to defend my straightness.
Your earrings match your, shoes, different things like that. What y'all think about that one?
Wait, pause real quick. The one before this one, what was it?
The gay bash.
The gay bash.
No, what was the one before that? Having the
dudes on Facebook.
More hot guys on Facebook.
No, I think it was if I'm gonna get that dude, you go get it because Justin just said I win that bet every time. So.
Oh my God, Justin! Just let me know, Justin.
Okay.
But yeah, the big.
Justin, send me a drink.
Yes, the gay bashing, the heavy gay bashing. Yeah. God, look at him. Oh, what? Why he just like that?
That's crazy.
What about the fashion comment? How men would say?
But you could have a dude who's good in the fashion.
Not too good though. Like I can't dress so good. I like to look a little bummy from time to time. You know. Yeah, I know some guys that.
I mean, but Aaron, you look fresh. So like if you went with me to the mall and don't you tell your girls, oh, boo, that's cute. That shirt.
I have no opinion on it.
You know,
my wife dresses like a maid.
It's iffy. I agree. I agree with that. To me, that's one a little iffy. And some of these are a little iffy.
They are.
That's one of them.
Now, if he twists his neck and says,
right.
"No, that's not working for you. Let me try it."
Right,
yeah, no.
Right, something like that. Yeah. Okay, this one is called the X-Men Factor. The X-Men Factor is
going back to superhero.
Yeah, exactly. not Bizarro, but the X-Men. You playing a video game with your boy,
right?
And you picking characters. Your boy would want to pick Storm, which is a female X-Men. Which is a female X-Men.
These are jokes, yo.
No.
This top 10 list from.
This has come from OkCupid.com.
OkCupid.com.
This is where I got this from.
So now when I play Street Fighter with my boy, I got to make sure
you don't get the female.
I don't get the dude to say, "How you get?"
The blue girl of X-Men. What was her name?
That was
No, that's
Ro.
Yeah.
Ro,
the one that could change herself into different people.
But here's how much sometimes we overthink it. Think about, I didn't know until my wife told me, and our kids were small, Teletubbies. And they had a big...
the purple one.
They had a big do about the Teletubbies. So I said, I'm going to sit down and watch the Teletubby. I'm like, that's so innocent. It's for kids. The kids don't know what they... Apparently somebody out there must be studying one of the Teletubbies extra hard.
Yeah.
You might have put on one of the Teletubby suit. And
Aaron, please continue.
But I'm saying that was the Christian right though, was it not?
Yeah. We get all into.
He's wearing Teletubby suits.
What about Barney? He was purple.
Yeah.
He got that haze.
All right. Another one is called the Oprah quotes. They always quoting Oprah all the time, and they always looking at Oprah a lot.
That's Justin. He Skyped with Oprah. Yeah,
he Skypes with Oprah.
He Skyped with her. Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, okay.
We
need to call Justin
some money.
back.
Don't Skype me.
We need to call Justin back. He can give me these facts.
I mean, Oprah. I don't know about that one because I mean Oprah. She has like today would be a Oprah.
Yeah, my nephew watches Oprah.
I could watch Oprah.
Yeah,
I could watch that. You might have to holler at her on the old network with that one.
Yeah, that's iffy.
That's a book. I mean, not to take a profit out of it, but
I mean,
everybody got to eat. You know.
Do you watch the stories?
I'm not no more. I do admit,
but
growing
you
up,
used to. See?
growing up, that was when we only had 3 channels. And my mom was
Get out of here, because that means you had ColecoVision.
Yeah.
Way back.
I bet y'all dropped the ColecoVision.
All right. This was just the men understand this one. The urinal dilemma. This is the urinal dilemma.
Yeah, 2 urinals away. Don't ever
That's a man law. That's a man law.
Yeah, 2 urinals away.
No, you gotta listen to this one. Okay, you got, for you women, you got the urinals in the bathroom and you got the stall. The gay man is gonna go straight into the stall and not even go into the urinal. That's what they saying from OkCupid.com.
So he's going away from the urinals.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know that.
Seem like it makes sense to me.
Here's the man law for me.
But yeah, the 2 urinals is the man law.
Yeah, like if there's a urinal here and somebody's using it, and there's a urinal beside it that's empty, I'm not going to the one right beside him.
Well, this is the logic to it.
Unless I got to take a real bad piss.
Well, this is the logic to it. This is the logic to it. They say a closeted gay man feels uncomfortable. Like, he can't control himself if he's too close to a man, and he might say do something.
Jump the other one?
I mean, I'm going back with OkCupid.com.
That's a
OkCupid might be more homophobic to me.
Right. I'm going to go on Cupid when I get home.
Yeah. I think it doesn't matter if you straight or gay. You jump on me, you gonna have some problem. My grandma told me how to fight.
Okay, the other one is the shifty eyes. When you at the mall with your girl, you catching your man,
looking
checking
at
out guys, the same guys that you checking out.
That's an automatic.
Yeah.
That's an automatic.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, Miss D.
Have you ever seen that, Miss D?
You experienced that?
Yes.
You experienced the shifty eye. You caught him the shifty eye thing.
Yeah.
You want one of these,
I mean,
was it?
even though he.
Yeah.
They ain't trying to play it
Well,
off.
actually, there's been a couple situations. I mean, we've been in the eating at the mall or something,
Right.
and I have a tendency. I mean, after all this stuff came out open, and we actually opened up about seeing other people, so we had that kind of relationship. And me, I'm just like, damn, look at him, and he's like, yeah, you do got to tie your ass.
Oh no!
I was like, never mind.
Don't mind me laughing at what you just said. Oh, never mind.
That is
I need a stronger drink than this Pepsi. Never mind.
Yes.
But
wow.
I can take that as a joke.
Right. Like I,
you know what I'm saying?
I had to laugh.
I can, but I played up like, never mind this, never mind.
Okay.
And we done been in straight clubs, and he's pointing out, gay people to me.
Okay.
That he's seen in gay clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I don't put people out there, but
Can I?
Well, listen, people want a name of these.
Can I throw a situation out here? Maybe y'all can tell me. Because back then my gaydar wasn't that strong.
Right.
But I was dating this girl, and she did explain to me that she had some experiences with another woman before, just experiment, kissy, girls club and college type stuff. Nothing to it. All right. After we started dating, she started taking me to strip clubs and paying for dances for me, which is great, And then on top of that, she was hitting on the girls, asking them to come back with her. I ain't trying to fuck no stripper, but I'm sorry, hey. Bloop, bloop. Yeah, bleep, bleep. Mm-hmm. But, like, I had, now that it's 15 years removed, I'm thinking maybe she was on the low. Because it works both ways. Miss D was in a relationship with a dude. They turned out that he was gay. And I might have been in a relationship with a woman, and it turned out she might have been gay. Because she has, I've seen her, at least in those settings, make out with women, hit on women like a dude would hit on a female. Mm-hmm. And I thought being a 24-year-old guy, college guy, like, oh, that's hot, But maybe she was. I don't know. I never asked her. She never came out and told me. Maybe she was just bi or experiment. I don't know. What y'all think?
Well, are you finished with your list?
No,
I got more. He just knows.
No, I got a couple more. We can answer that right quick.
Oh, okay.
I got a couple more.
What do you think, Lisa?
I mean, I don't know anymore. I feel like I'm so drained. I'm so emotionally drained right now.
You're not used to the Aaron Turner show, you know.
No, I cannot come back.
takes you on a roller coaster ride.
Get deep with this.
I can't come back. I'm sorry. Yeah, I can't come back.
You talking about your question?
Yeah, that's that situation.
You was talking about far as like the females.
Yeah, she was letting me know that it could jump off like this in a minute, and it.
I mean, I think it's the same. I think it's the same as males. You know, they'll still be kind of undercover. You don't know because actually I was talking to one of my female friends that's in Atlanta. She was saying the same thing, that you know she had women hit on her. You know as well. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
what you say? Both
ways, you know?
I say, yeah, I've had it too. It must be the hair.
Yeah,
blondes do have more fun, but damn.
Yeah. All right. We'll finish all this list. I'm gonna say that one for the last one.
All right.
The bathroom ritual, meaning that the guy spend more time in the bathroom than the girl.
Who does that? That's got to be true.
No. I mean,
not necessarily.
I agree with that.
I don't like going to the bathroom unless I'm washing my ass.
No, but the thing about it, you know, I'm one to spend a lot of time in the bathroom.
Hey,
you know, yeah, but you know,
and he's the fashion dude too.
Yeah,
so,
you know,
I look like a bum.
Yeah, and that's the one that's kind of iffy and stuff. And you know, I know my girl Nicole listening because she always talk about, you know, you take all day in the bathroom, what you doing in there and all that. But, you know, I got to prep myself for
Shout out to Nicole, still fans, baby.
Yeah, whatever. But anyway, I love you, boo. But anyway, that one's iffy to me. That one iffy to me.
Yeah, that is iffy.
Yeah, and this one is a sure enough banger right here. This number 10 right here, the diva fascination. If he's into Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, Celine Dion, and Barbra Streisand, and Cher,
and they say Beyonce.
I didn't say Beyonce. We'll do, you know.
I like Beyonce,
but you know, I would actually include Patti LaBelle in this one because Patti has a strong.
Patti's got a voice. She make me cry.
Yeah, but
she do.
But like I say, the diva fascination. If he ain't listen to Lil Wayne or somebody, and he want to listen more Whitney Houston and Glass in the Car, Mariah Carey, you know.
But that's not true either, because you got these quote unquote homo thugs that listen to Lil Wayne, that listen to whoever.
School us, educate the public.
Yeah, they listen to whoever, and you be surprised just because they got the wife beater in the Thames on.
Yeah, let me tell you
that they ain't gay.
Speaking of that, you remember The Wire?
Yeah.
The Scar. Let me tell you, I never.
You never saw that episode?
I saw. I was like in and out of The Wire, but this particular scene, when I seen him get up, I said, "Where did this go from? Where did?" I was totally like, "Wow!" And I would have never. That's what I'm saying. You don't. No. Come on, look at him. How much more thug? I mean, all you had to do is.
Omar was a straight murderer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But he's still getting juked in the booty.
And he's an actor that actually did that scene.
Yes, he did. And he acted just like with Brokeback Mountain and the rest of them. I'm telling you.
Come out of the shadows, y'all.
I mean, like I said, there ain't no issues with
I ain't
that.
gonna bother.
Right. Can't nobody judge nobody. But I know it's a lot of fear, too. You know, like what Justin said, especially with us, with the black community. You know, you but not even say, look like you want to be, and that's not.
Don't you? But don't you think that's got a lot to do with like educate? I mean, like I always try to harp back on education.
I agree, and you know, it's still taboo in the community, and I was actually telling Ms. D earlier, in my profession, I'm seeing it more so in our community now. You know, as far as different things like that, and you know, with kids, cause I deal with kids. You know, for the teenage kids, you know, have different issues like that. And, you know, and I could say, you know, maybe like about 5 years ago, it wasn't maybe like Caucasian communities more, but more and more as the time goes on, I'm seeing it in our community, African American community. I don't know, I guess maybe society kind of making it a little bit more acceptable or whatever now. And, you know, it's not as much taboo no more in our community, you know, who knows. But it's definitely strong in our community. But again, like I said, guys, if you know, you're like that or whatever. My thing is, I'm pleading to you guys, stop bringing women and innocent kids involved with it. You know, be who you are, and that's my thing. And we're gonna wrap it up. And Miss D, again, you know, I just wonderful.
Yes.
You're a strong, such a strong
Wonderful.
person. You know, bless you. Bless you. You know,
this is a woman. This is a
straight up woman.
Man.
Up.
Okay, yeah, I know it.
I don't know if any dudes can handle what she went through.
No, see, and this is women, man. We are so beautiful. We are so powerful. We can birth humans. That's something y'all dudes can't do. Yes, y'all can help us get us there.
Yeah.
But as far as birthing humans,
Hey,
I
pussy,
tell
don't
the
child
ladies
up
at the
on
gym
me.
that all the time. Whenever we in the gym or we working out and they think, so I was like, no, we need to keep going. We can birth humans, people.
No
Do you realize that?
Get 'em
You
with
know,
the
y'all
eye.
try to do one of those.
No,
Y'all do that.
I ain't
You know,
gonna
let it
try.
come out the
Y'all got
hole
that.
that y'all
got
have.
that.
Oh.
Right. So, like I
You
said,
got
I
that.
respect you to the utmost.
Yeah.
I really do. Please excuse my facial expressions because
Well, that's just how Listen look.
they're only for the pain that
Yeah.
I felt for you back in the day when you first had it. And I know it's not even enough, and especially for your girls. And like I said, if you want to give me anybody's name, I know people who would do things for $5 in a fork.
Yes, sir.
So you just let me know, and that's all I have to say. Is besides, I respect you more than I can tell you.
Yeah,
Really?
and definitely, like I said, you know, ditto to that, and it's just, you know, I mean, you know, you're awesome, man. I mean, that's you know, you're awesome. That's bottom line. Keep taking care of them kids, and mainly take care of yourself. You know,
Yes.
take
And
care of yourself.
lean on the Lord.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
lean on the Lord and just take care of yourself. We're gonna go around the room, and I guess we'll go with Lisa P. You can, you know, maybe shout out something you might have going on. You know, stand up or anything you might have going on. If you ain't got nothing going on, make it up.
Well, in that case, I'm booked until the end of next year.
Ain't that right?
For sure. But no, again, Aaron, thank you so much for having me on the Aaron Turner Show.
You'll be back.
Global Scale Radio. No, I won't. No, if there any emotional like this, I can't because this
listen,
really
it's a tear jerker.
Yeah, this
It's a
doesn't make
tearjerker.
my comedy thing too well, man. Cause
Well,
it's
I can
ups
find
and
the
downs.
comedy in it.
I know you can because you're that good.
comedy.
But again, Aaron, thank you so much.
doubt.
Tomorrow I'll be repping BA with Kizzy Henderson.
Kizzy.
I'll be with
Shout
her.
out to Kizzy.
And then and then I have some other things that I'm really excited about coming up that'll probably be released by the end of December, maybe January. I have a couple of parties to do in February, so 2012 is starting to look pretty good. So I'm excited. So
Okay.
hopefully,
Excited for you.
hopefully I'll be in Durham also, and I got to tell you too
I won't go to
about
Durham.
that.
I got a lot of people to do.
Yeah, dude asked me to come out and do open mic in Durham, so I'll let you know if
Okay.
you want to go together.
Okay.
Oh wow, really?
But
Really?
yeah,
That's
that's what's up. So I'm excited.
I'll
So
drive or something. Maybe.
Durham is like an hour and a half.
Yeah, about 2 hours, I think.
yeah,
roughly
because it
under 2
starts at
hours,
8.
yeah.
So, but
Oh,
regardless
not
through
good.
all that, you know, because hopefully when we do our little bit here, we'll be doing our big things out there. So
Oh, no doubt.
yeah, so I'm excited.
I'll
Yeah.
do it.
Ow, ow.
Yes, sir.
So yes, thank you again, Aaron. I appreciate you.
Oh, no problem, listen. Jay Grizzo.
Oh, Grizz ain't doing that. It's the last 2 weeks of the year, man. I gotta get that. I ain't got my Christmas tree up yet. Wow. Bah humbug.
The day before Christmas is good, but
My kids looking at me like, "Yo, Dad, what's up with the tree?" I'm like, "Nigga, cut one of them. Get no tree, man. That's work. Putting up lights. Y'all see the $1 million bill? Look, I'm chilling for the next 2 weeks of the year, getting ready for 2012. Big things for Jay Grizzy Green. Monday, I just started a pilot show that started Monday. So Monday, for the next 2 Mondays of the year, I'm going to see what I'm going to be doing here from 5:30 to 7:30 here at globalscaleradio.com. So check me out on Monday and the following Monday. Hopefully, if everything goes right, going into the new year, I'll have another show with a different format. Other than that, y'all can catch me at any open mic around town, Lakeside, McCormick's, Cafe Diem. I'm the resident comic here at the Aaron Turner Show, so y'all always just check me out here at globalscaleradio.com, either on Aaron's show, my show, or somebody else's show, man. And that's just how it goes down, baby.
Okay. Again, thank everybody for coming. Like I said, next couple of weeks, you know, I ain't doing much of nothing. Next Friday, I think I'm gonna kind of lighten up a little bit. I might just play Christmas music for real. Sounds of Seas for real. I'm serious.
Christmas
you know?
time.
Yeah, you know, little
like
Jackson
Charlie
5,
Brown Christmas, yeah.
You know,
Charlie
I was
Brown
looking
had
at
it
last
hard.
night. That was-
Yeah.
that was-
Charlie Brown had a hard life.
Good dude, yo.
Y'all don't feel bad. I felt so bad for
Lucy's
Charlie Brown.
depressed.
Yeah, they
Yeah, she going through things.
you know, I'm
She's a
real
sister.
quick.
Y'all could beat is a crazy. But go ahead.
Yeah, real quick. Like if you study like now, the cartoons that were back in the early 70s, mid 70s, or late 60s, like H.R. Puff and stuff, like the psychedelic, even Tom and Jerry, that like taught a lot of violence. Like, I know I got gap teeth, but like Jerry hit Tom in the mouth with a hammer, and all his teeth was gone. Like, if I was a kid and I sat there and watched it,
they go like piano keys.
Yeah, they're like, stop.
But you know what? But they always came back on his next smile. The next scene.
Yeah, it came right back.
Yeah, yo, that's
it's like, yo.
Look at Family Guy. Come on now, they play on Fox Family.
But we know Family Guy and all of that is adult oriented. You know, it's pretty much they got the TV ratings out. When we were kids, they didn't tell you that Peppermint Patty was a lesbian?
Yeah, yo.
All right, we gonna cut on that. We gonna cut on that.
No, she not, yo, cause she like Charlie Brown. Peppermint Patty like Charlie Brown.
Again, like
I call